Welcome to episode 58 of the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast. We are back after a 1 week hiatus. My name is Deonte, joined by my ace, my best friend, my guy, Dane Beasley. How you doing, brother?
2 weeks, but who's counting? Doing pretty good, man.
Was it a 2 week hiatus? We took off 1 week.
Think about it, man.
Okay, we haven't recorded in 2 weeks. Is it? Well, just I guess that does.
Lead us in there. I need the people to realize that after a long day's worth of teaching, you can't even math normally.
But thank God I'm not a math teacher.
Look, shout out to everybody who's still tuning in after that obvious math blunder, if you want to call it that. But yes, it's been a pretty good day, bro. Can't even complain, man. Like it feels like it's been longer than 2 weeks, but here we are, man.
It's
back ready to feed these digital streets.
Yeah. Feed the streets. They need us. I heard they need us, so we had to step back in the saddle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it has been a great little break for us. Dane, you want to tell the people what happened? Where'd you go?
Oh yeah, I went to I went to Oklahoma for the weekend.
Soonerland.
Funny story about that. So we went to Oklahoma as a family, myself, my wife, and a few of her relatives, about 12 of us. We went to Oklahoma and was Broken Bow. Mm-hmm. I get confused between Broken Arrow and Broken Bow. Went to Broken Bow cabin.
I said Broken Arrow that time. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh wait, no.
Wait a minute. No, not that one. But yeah, went to Broken Bow. Went to a cabin out there. A nice little retreat for was it 5 days, 4 days, 4 or 5 days, whatever. But it was cool. Hanging out with the family. I think the people that actually own that particular cabin, they might be UT fans because although it was in Oklahoma, there was a Texas Longhorns cover for the grill, along with other various random pieces of UT paraphernalia that haunted the place. But it was cool, man. It was a good getaway. The first time we actually went out of the state with Langston, so he enjoyed it. Even confirmed even more that he is definitely an outdoors kid. Yeah. So we have that on the horizon, but man, it was cool. It was real cool. What about you, man? What you been up to on these digital streets?
That's good, man. I've been off these digital streets and doing the digital teach. Started the first day today as a teacher, my 6th year stepping into the profession as a educator, feeding these young educated minds, man, trying to get them right. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So today was our first day back here in Waco ISD. Kind of chaotic, but like you and I had talked about before we hit that record button, it's day one, man. Just trying to, get through
Stack
it. And
the good days on the good days.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, for sure. So, so we're still going to try to get the weekly pods in and stuff. And we're episode 58 now, almost to episode 60. And we'll get there soon enough.
The Von Miller episode.
It's the Von Miller episode, man.
You like that?
I am excited. Like man, I need Von to bounce back, man. Coming off the injury, he didn't play at all last year.
Cut the man some slack. Can't be the best edge rusher every single year of your career, man. Come on, man.
True. Speaking of which, the Broncos defense this year, man, we top 5. This might be that Super Bowl defense we had, back 5-6 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
I'll hold you to it when I'm sitting in between you and JB3.
Yeah, it's happening. But Dane, you are a Buckeye fan. You've claimed it a couple of times on the podcast. Yes. Week 1 of the preseason, we saw your guy Justin Fields. He looked like he belonged there. He's very efficient, very on point. To him, he said the game kind of slowed down, and then week 2, we kind of got the
we'll see, rookie.
we got his welcome week 2 with that big hit off the edge. And so my question to you, out of all the guys,
sneak that in there. I had to sneak that in there. Go ahead, man.
You know it. Out of the young guys that
if you're gonna tell the full story, the man was unblocked. The edge rusher was unblocked, and put rookie on notice. At all times, you didn't have a head on a swivel and climb the pocket. He was fading backwards. If he was climbing the pocket, he might have been able to see that, in his face. But
yeah, what quarterback has not had that happen to them? Like, it's part of the game. Like, it's going to be a time where I mean, not necessarily like a blindside hit, but you're going to get hit. Like, you don't step into the profession.
He got his
position
chin,
knowing you're not going to get hit.
He got his chin checked. Definitely chin check. But from all to go back to your question before I was
the question was what
before I was drawing off sides. Before I was drawing off sides by that foul display of whatever you'd like to call it on this podcast. But as far as the I guess the things you want to look for, or I mean it's still early because we're not even in week 1 yet. But so far, what you want to look for in a decent quarterback is one, progressing through the reads, which you might not see when you have a rookie that might be playing with the 2s or 3s. Not to say there's anything wrong with the 2s or the 3s, but the starting offensive line, your 5 starting guys, you're more than likely to be your best 5 linemen. With that said, you have the ability to go through your reads and get to those different route combinations versus only throwing to your first read or double clutching a wide open receiver, things like that. Another thing is just looking like they belong there. That poise, that command of the huddle. They always show it, make it a point to show it in movies. Anytime there's a football movie, the quarterback going in there and commanding the lead of the other guys in the huddle, and they looking like getting the troops ready for battle type of deal. You want to make sure that the quarterback looks like that. Whatever that is in your mind, I'm sure it pretty much matches up with what it looks like in the league in terms of the cinematic, I got your back, guys type of deal. I guess the other thing is just honestly, if committing to the mistake 100%. If you're going to look like you're about to throw that horrible, awful pass, just go ahead and go through it and not double guess yourself or second guess yourself. And by that mean these double clutch passes, like you'll see, not double clutch like attempts, like they're about to throw this wide open guy. They see it clearly. It's like, wait, he can't be that wide open. And they like do that. And then boom, either sack or just a duck pass or escape out the pocket. Yeah. And then I guess the last thing for me is just makes me satisfied or just like, okay, they're picking up on the game, even though it's going to take a while for them to get adjusted to the speed, is staring down the barrel of that shotgun when they know, regardless if they get the pass on or get the pass off or not, they're going to get blasted. And we saw that a lot. A lot of rookies standing back there knowing they're going to get hit, still standing there, getting their feet set, shoulder set, and delivering the ball and getting pow. So right now I can firmly say every single big name rookie quarterback, every single one of them has at least characterized or has shown that they possess at least one of those characteristics. So I can't really say one in particular, but they've all shown that they've not mastered, but they're comfortable in one of those particular characteristics that I've so eloquently spelled out.
Right.
What about you?
Yeah, so the question I asked you, I kind of put it up on our podcast socials on Instagram. You can follow us at duosnspodcast and on Twitter as well at duosnspodcast. And last week, going into week 2 of preseason from week 1, I had posted the question, which young quarterback impressed you the most? And I added the 5 rookie quarterbacks that we are most familiar with Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, and Zach Wilson. But I also added in Jordan Love. He's not a rookie, second-year guy that, he put up big numbers as well week 1. Yeah, red shirt rookie.
Red shirt rookie.
And then on the Twitter poll, I added Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Jordan Love, and Trevor Lawrence because you can only pick 4. Mm-hmm. And 44% of the people that voted picked Justin Fields because this was week 1 going into week 2. So this is before
week 2, they might have changed their mind a little bit.
Yeah, week 2, they might have thought that that might be a little different. But yeah, I kind of agree with you on the characteristics of what you see in a quarterback. And Justin Fields was on that show back in the day on Netflix. Which one was that he was on? I was following him when he was in high school.
Was it QB1?
Yeah. QB1. And so that was like maybe that's like 5 years ago. 4 years ago.
5 years ago, where were you at, bro? Like, what's the most memorable thing you can say about 5 years ago? Like, the most memorable thing. Just so people can see how long 5 years ago was.
Yeah, I just started teaching. I just started teaching.
Just started a new career.
Teaching and coaching, yeah, exactly. First new career or just started a new career. So, yeah. And then I always think like, dang, these dudes are like 22, 21 quarterbacking grown men, you know what I'm saying? He's a grown man too, but like in general, at 22, man, I'm like, man, what I'm gonna do with my life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And these guys are
doing 22, that kind of thing. They up here sitting in the huddle telling 29 and 30-year-olds what they need to do, the expectations when we go on the field and how to present themselves. Like, imagine that, like the cojones you gotta have to be able to take command and be an alpha like that amongst other grown men. So shout out to them, man. That's the mentality.
That goes back to what you were saying. Yeah, those characteristics that you want in a guy that you consider a franchise quarterback, a guy you want to eventually lead your team to, a championship. And to go along with Justin Fields, man, I talked to a friend of mine last night about Chicago, and he's a Chicago Bears fan. And I asked him, I was like, man, what do you think about Justin Fields? And he gave all the right things, and, he's very excited about him. And then came up with the fact that a lot of Bears fans are going through right now is why is Andy Dalton a part of the equation? Like, of course, Andy is coming in thinking that it's his team, which he should. Like, if you're in that position to Andy Dalton, you should feel like, hey, I'm coming to play. But at the same time,
Andy said Justin's going to be a great player, but this is my year.
This is my time. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean, put yourself in Andy's shoes. Like, are you not supposed to say anything different? Are you supposed to be like, I come here to compete. I know Justin's a great guy, but I want to be here to play. Like, what other way was he supposed to kind of say that? Like, am I wrong?
Look, man, I'm going to tell you like this. I got a bone to pick with Mr. Andy Dalton, a.k.a. Mr. Red Rocket. It's because of him winning an additional game that we missed out on the player that I wanted the most, Patrick Surtain. So, although I love Michael Parsons.
And thank you.
Although I love Michael Parsons and the versatility that he brings to the defense, he's going to have a bright future if what we're seeing in preseason is what we're going to see here between now and his last snap with the Cowboys. But Andy Dalton won a game that he shouldn't have won with the Cowboys, and that that took us from like pick number 5 all the way up to pick number 10. Of course, we traded 10.
Was this week 17?
I can't remember. I think it might have been the Giants that he accidentally beat. I don't know. I can't remember. But I was like, yeah, he accidentally beat the Giants. I'm like, bro, you had one in my head. You had one job to help us lose. Not to say I wanted us to lose, but in terms of making sure the better of the team, whatever is best for the team is what I wanted, and whatever is best for the team, in my opinion, would have been another quarterback. Anyways, beside the point. Chicago Bears fans, and I have a few family members that are out in the Chicago area, so they are hopeless Bear fans as well. What they need to realize is Justin Fields, although he is the exciting, brand new, fresh, new Corvette, in your driveway. You gotta wait. You can't take him out for a spin just yet. You got to see what that other.
Got to get that insurance on him.
Yeah, get that insurance on the tags. You got to make sure to pass the inspection. All of that. In the meantime, you got to sit there with that old beat down, rusted Volkswagen that used to be beautiful 20 years ago. Now, Andy Dalton is not going to be the quarterback he's not going to be the quarterback that you need if you want to win. At least not now. He's just going to be the quarterback that's going to maintain and keep you above water with the bare minimum. It's not going to look pretty, but he'll get it done. So sorry guys, but yeah, Justin Fields' season will begin soon, just not this soon.
Yeah, I think they're kind of in the same predicament as the 49ers per se. Like, Trey, I think we talked about on this podcast too, how the Niners and Shanahan are kind of trying to lift up Garoppolo, like, hey, Garoppolo's great. Kind of like trade bait. Hey, come and get him so we can ride with Trey down the way. But man, he looks, for a guy that played one game last year, and it's only been 2 preseason games, but he has that look. He has the whatever everything you're looking for in a quarterback. He's got it. You know what I'm saying?
And why is he on the hot seat?
Who, Trey? I'm talking about Trey Lance.
I thought he was talking about Jimmy. My bad.
Oh no. I was talking about Trey. Jimmy, yeah.
My bad,
Jimmy's days are numbered, in my opinion.
So who do you think loses their job, or who do you think gets the QB1 job first? Trey or Mr. Justin?
Oh, good question. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields, man. They were booing Andy Dalton in that preseason game. So
man.
It's only a matter of time, bro.
And it's this. Let me be very, very clear. This is not me saying who's going to be the better quarterback. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying who's more likely to get their job or get that starting job first or earlier, which also could translate to which current quarterback between Garoppolo and Andy Dalton is going to suck the best or the quickest pause for the QB2 to get the job. So I'm rooting for all the rookie quarterbacks because I would love to see an amazing quarterback year from a rookie or amazing year of quarterbacking from a rookie because we haven't seen that in a long time. And I would love to see that. So,
and then in general, just having great quarterback play, especially if you know guys that are going to be future of the league, 5-10 years down the line, you want to see them succeed. You don't want to have obviously the franchises don't want to have a cycling of drafting.
It's not good for the ratings, is what you're trying to say.
Ratings equal money, and I care about that as a fan. I need those money ratings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
No, but. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see, when we go through these last few preseason games. I mean, I think Nagy, the Bears head coach, Matt Nagy, has already named Andy Dalton week 1 starter for some reason already.
Oh, boy.
With 1 game to go. And I don't know if they've named one in San Francisco, but I'm assuming Jimmy is going to start, considering Shanahan has said that. But I think we'll see Justin Fields starting before Trey Lance. But that doesn't mean – I think we'll see Trey Lance on the field as well. But, yeah, man. Switching to college football, obviously the big news since our last pod, we had already talked about Texas and Oklahoma heading over to the SEC. We don't know at what point. Of course, right now officially it's – by 2025, but
somebody gonna be mad. Somebody gonna be mad. Either way it goes, somebody gonna be mad.
But we're thinking before then. This might be the last year that Oklahoma, Texas, and the Big 12 heading to the SEC, where it's gonna get real for them. So SEC is making power moves, so that leaves the other power conferences to kind of figure out what they want to do as far as making allegiances, merges, possibly, and. From the article from The Athletic, Nicole Auerbach has said that the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the ACC are expected to make a formal announcement about their alignment soon. Perhaps as early as next week, which is this week now, multiple sources told them. It's not clear yet how specific the announcement will be because there are some details to iron out, although administrators in all 3 leagues have stressed in recent conversations the issues of governance and can and should be front and center. Schools within the 3 conferences believe they are like-minded, that they want to continue to prioritize broad-based sports offerings, and that the academic profile of their institution matters, as does graduating athletes. So,
woo!
Seems like a power play in comparison to the SEC, Dane.
Right here. Super Conference. That's what you're looking at. It's an S. Okay. Super Conference. 3 conferences. You know what's better than 1 conference, Deonte?
Okay. 2, then 3?
A Super Conference. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what the hell is in the works, but it's obvious enough that they feel at least in the slightest threatened by the amount of not only the money but exposure that the SEC is going to continue to get as this recent monumental legislation went through. So my guess is, much like a lot of NBA Twitter hates with the advent of the super team, I think we have a super conference on our hands. As silly as that might sound, I'm going with a wild and bold prediction. Just hopefully, just in the name of controversy. That's what I'm here for. What about you?
I think, I don't know if they'll go out and say straight up formally that, hey, we're making one big super conference, but I think it'll be like baby steps towards that. So I think this announcement will kind of be geared towards, for one, maybe next year, it'll be like conference, like, how we see in college basketball, we see like the SEC Big 12 Challenge, where you'll have like a slate of games where a Big 12 team is playing an SEC team. I think it'll be something similar like that to start off, with these big three conferences. So you can see a Big Ten team play either a Pac-12 team, in non-conference. It's like just the beginning of
the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg of what you had mentioned about the super conference. Okay. Of course, we have the Power 5 conferences. We have the SEC with, what they did with OU and Texas. We have the Big Ten, Pac-12, the ACC, what they're doing with this little formal announcement. That leaves
whatever's left of the Big 12.
Leaves our great friends and my loyal school Baylor Bears in the Big 12 in a very bad position. Man. So it may seem right now.
Any
lot
whisperings?
Of stuff.
Any whisperings near the 254?
That's what I was about to say. Me personally, I don't know, but I feel like there's always something going on behind closed doors, behind the curtain, as far as, hey, can you take us with you to your conference? Like, you never know. Like, Texas, what Texas and OU had came out the blue, right? And they weren't even trying to let everyone know yet. And a reporter reported it, and, it just exploded. So you never know what these other conferences and schools might be talking about behind closed doors, behind the scenes. But I think this is just another example. Whatever they decide, Dane, to announce this week or next week is another, like you said, little breadcrumb towards what we could see. And, like, obviously this is like a play towards what the SEC is trying to build, and whatever rumors are going about them wanting to make a possible mini NFL with the SEC, because, and it's been like this for years, right? The SEC is the best college football conference that we have, right? And so what they're trying to do, in my opinion, is trying to separate even more from the competition. Like, this affects recruiting. This affects, what you always talk about, the dollar bills, and, what they have with the SEC network. It's like so many little deals, and it's all about power play and who can make what power moves to get that dollar bill, man.
It almost reminds you of the comic book cartoons from back in the day, when you have all the bosses in their little chair in the dark, and all you can see is the silhouette of the shadow,
the cigar and the cigar smoke,
and the smoke just flying back. And it's like, yes, our plans are falling right into play. It's almost like that. Not to say that the guys, the commissioners or whatnot, are crooks or anything like that. I wasn't saying anything like that, but conspiracies are looming, and I love a good conspiracy.
Yeah, we will definitely keep tabs on that. I'm sure by next episode something will get announced. And Dane, I'm gonna let you take over this next one, because you are our track and field guy on this podcast, man. What happened these last few days? I know we just got back from the Olympics in Tokyo, where our girl that we were rooting for, Sha'Carri Richardson, didn't qualify, or excuse me, she was suspended because of that situation. So we had another event that happened not too long ago, right?
Yeah, out there, and I believe it was in Eugene. Shout out to my boy Gavin.
Sublet. Sean's too. We just putting everybody's names out there. Sean.
I'm gonna send this clip to Gavin. But I believe the race was out there in Eugene for the Diamond League, and of course, it was bad. So I don't know when this started, but for those of you who don't know, in case you've been possibly living underneath the rock, or just been busy with life, which we understand, there was a race between 9 individuals in the 100-meter dash. About 3 or 4 of them Jamaicans, 3, maybe 2 Americans, and the rest were sprinkled in from different other, representing different other countries. Well, it did not go well. It did not go well. She came in last place. Of course, the Jamaicans, placed 1, 2, and 3, similar to what they did over in Tokyo, and it was a bloodbath. It was impressive, because you got, for once, we get to, not for once, because it was obviously she wasn't at her best, which is no excuse. There is no telling what decisions transpired between the Olympic trials and that meet from the other day. However, there's only 2 things you can come away with. 1, damn.
Yeah.
And 2, damn. I don't know it's such a hard line to draw if you want to make fun of something like that, because you don't, because 9 times out of 10, and I say 9.9999 times out of 10, she's smoking every single person that would make fun of her on the track. Let's not get that twisted. However,
that's the keyboard warriors and stuff like that.
No particular person in the world is above any type of meme, criticism, joke, punchline, nothing. And as a Cowboy fan that watched thousands of memes of injured Tony Romo laying on the turf or an injured Dez Bryant on the turf, I understand the frustrations, but this is certainly not the hill to die on. People are going to always make jokes regardless if you come in first place or last place. But the bottom line is, if you talk, you have to be willing to back it up. So her story is still writing itself. We still have plenty of chapters left in the Sha'Carri Richardson novel. That's the word I was looking for. I was looking for novel. The Sha'Carri Richardson novel. We still have plenty of chapters to be written in that. So we'll be here cheering along. And until then, of course, shout out to Team Jamaica.
Yeah, of course she's like a different athlete. Obviously, like she came in 9th place and still, was as confident as if she won the race. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. Of course, like you said, social media is going to be social media in the aspect they're going to make jokes, they're going to make memes, they're going to, roast all day long. But for her,
it happens, unfortunately.
For an athlete that doesn't seem to have that, like she's not affected by it. I mean, it's like she is still being who she is as far as being confident. I think that is kind of like a good characteristic to have for her. Like, it's on to the next race. Like, even after, I don't have the exact quote, but I remember listening to her talking right after the race, and it was just like, I'm still going to be who I am. I'm still going to, do what I do. And like, for her, that's great and fine. But at the end of the day, like you said, like there comes a point where you want to prove that on the track. And like you said, the book is still being written on her story. And like always, and like she is still, someone that I will continue to root for, continue to cheer for, and hopefully she can get back to what originally brought eyes to track and field, like her play on the track. And that's another thing I can say. The way she is, the way she carries herself, win or lose, people are watching track and field, Dane. And like one thing we had talked about was people don't really pay attention unless it's the Olympics. And look, we're past the Olympics now, and we got more eyes. I feel
the casuals, them casuals. No offense to the casuals out there. You're gonna be watching the Olympics every 4 years. In this case, it's a little different because of COVID and all that. But the fans that don't typically keep a lookout on that and provided support year, because other countries, this is a year-round thing. But for majority of America, it's essentially every 4 years they pile on and like, hey, let's look at this sport that I love so much that you don't even contribute any type of visual or viewable support. So there it is.
Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. I need to find out when the next race she does is so I can tune in. Like,
you keep your head up, girl.
Yeah,
you keep your head up.
Yeah, because we know you're gonna listen to this.
That's okay.
We cheering for you. Let's go.
That's okay, baby.
Dane, did you happen to watch the Netflix doc of Untold, Malice at the Palace?
I did. There was one on Showtime, I think, too, and I wanted to watch that to do a comparison. I mean, obviously, it's not a competition or anything like that, Netflix and Showtime, but still, the product itself of misunderstood players is something that I gravitated towards a lot. But yeah, this was a lot. This was a lot, and then of course it brings back memories because it was one of the first things we talked about on this here podcast was Malice at the Palace,
episode 1. Wow,
other
good job, Dane.
Things like that. Yeah, I got you, man. Call back. I got you, man. Marvel, you ain't the only one, baby. I got it. So we cover this in great detail, and obviously, based on the interviews and the other footage that we were exposed to from the documentary from Netflix, we got some more perspectives, and everything was a few loose ends were tied up. But for me, I just wasn't really satisfied. I would have liked to see because we heard from police officers. We heard from the facilities managers. We heard from security guards. We heard from fans. We heard from the actual players. But I wanted to hear from. We heard from a referee, an official.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hear from coach.
Tim Donahue. Dang. He was the one that particular ref was the one that got in trouble because he was betting on the games on the NBA.
So he's already outcast.
Forgot his last name.
He's already outcast.
And when he popped up, I was like, "What the? They got him." But anyway, sorry to cut you off.
No, you good. This is good TV. But I would have loved to hear from interviews from the announcers, the color commentators who were actually calling the game. I would have loved to hear from some of the coaches. We got a few glimpses of Coach Carlisle, or should I say Jim Carrey, because that's exactly who that fool looked like. Like back in the day.
Even more so now.
So I would have loved to hear from him, obviously. I know it probably would have been crossing the line, but they made mention, I think, they definitely made mention about Ron Artest's psychiatrist that used to travel with them. So that would have been interesting to hear about. Obviously, couldn't have gone into too much detail because of, the client privilege that he had, but just more perspective. And I know it was just 1 hour and a few minutes, but maybe it's just, I'm asking for too much, but it was a lot. It was a lot, but it's not really new information. We knew who the agitators were in the whole situation, the fans, of course, but looking at that, and what we, of course, what we still have seen in NBA games of fans taking it too far and going too far. And the unfortunate thing for them is there's a lot more prevention and security from the NBA players from doing the same thing that they did previously, and that's going up in the stands and beating their ass. Because we've seen countless times over this just the past year of players getting popcorn thrown on them, beer thrown on them, spat on, shoes thrown at them, like that. There's no place for that. This is not even coming from just a fan talking to, or a fan in the relationship with an athlete. This is talking about the relationship between a person and a person. You as a person have no business spitting on anybody, throwing a drink on somebody, or throwing food on them without possibly or improperly getting your ass beat. Like there's no room for that. If you have a dispute or a situation or an issue with an individual, take it up with that individual. But they are there to fulfill their wildest dreams that they had. They are not there for you to treat them like they're animals at a zoo. And that's the issue that I had with reliving those memories from watching that documentary. Like that's what pissed me off.
Right on the head. Like I was just gonna say, like, especially these last few years, like you mentioned, like a lot of these fans have gotten hidey in their mighty and like privileged, thinking, hey, I pay money, I can do whatever the hell I want, acting like they're at a damn zoo. And like, I'm so glad like players like Russell Westbrook for sure doesn't take it. A lot of other players have spoken out about these things that are going on, and it shouldn't, like incidents like we saw with the Malice at the Palace in 2004. That was 2004. We're in 2021, and you know what I'm saying? We're seeing this still
with no ass kickings given out.
Right. And, the NBA has gone to ban these fans or whatever, but like, I'm like, this is, and don't correct me if I'm wrong, fans, like, or people that listen to the pod, like maybe these fans have gotten some kind of legal action towards them. I don't know, but
it's possible.
The ban from the arenas is not enough. Like, this is like assault. Like, these dudes are there doing their dang job, and for y'all to act like y'all own these players, and I'll say it, like acting like you want to do whatever you want in this particular place is not right, man.
Here's the thing. If a regular person pulls up on a state senator or pulls up on the local town sheriff and pours water on them or spits on them, you better be you will be
get that
guy. I will be shocked if nothing happened to them either physically or legally.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter what your title is. If you spit on somebody, that's the ultimate level of disrespect. You spitting on somebody. That's you going from 0 to 2,000. Like that. I'm sorry. There's no other way I could put it into words. One of the most disrespectful things you could do to somebody is spit on them. And we've seen that over and time again. But man, you as a fan, whether you're a season ticket holder or you sitting in the nosebleeds, you purchased a ticket for the purposes of viewing a spectacle in which we can only dream of having that athleticism. You're purchasing the opportunity to see that in person. You're not purchasing to get to do whatever you think is okay in your mind to that particular person, because that's just ain't cool. But obviously, a lot of people just weren't raised right, because anybody knows, if whatever action you have, there is a consequence to it. And I can't speak for where everybody else is from, but for where we from, you do unto others.
That ain't flying.
Yeah. No, that ain't happening. You do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So if you want to get punched in the face, you go right ahead and try to spit on them. Right? That's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly what happened. Yeah, but back to the doc, man. One thing that you were kind of saying you wanted more of, and I was kind of thinking about it. Jermaine O'Neal was like, I kind of wanted to go more into his story, and of course you can, but it would be cool to kind of see how this like they mentioned how it affected the rest of his career, but I kind of would have liked to see how the trajectory of his career went down, because obviously that Pacers team, Reggie Miller's last year, was, one of the best teams in the NBA. That was the year. You know what I'm saying? And when that incident happened, that was the end of it. Like, literally, Ron was gone for the rest of the year. Then he went to the Lakers, right? And ended up winning a ring.
Excuse me.
Steven Jackson, I think Steven Jackson was still there. But basically, the core, Reggie Miller retired. Like, what they had in place right there at that moment was gone.
Dominant.
And then, Jermaine O'Neal, like, you could see through his interview, he never recovered. Like, he still feels some type of way about the situation. And so maybe we could get a Jermaine O'Neal documentary just about, I mean, I know we got his story, but like, that would have been something to kind of dive into more, man. After that situation.
When that went down, I was in I think eighth grade? Wait, or maybe seventh grade?
Eighth grade.
Eighth grade. Not to say I hope that would have happened, but I wish I was older at that point, so I can not only understand just how the peak of where Jermaine O'Neal was. You know what I'm saying? Like, just so I can conceptualize. Because when I was, back then, LeBron, Melo, Kobe, Shaq, like that's where my head was at. I mean, that's literally all my household, and that in Spurs games. That's where my head was at. But if I could conceptualize like I can now, because obviously more access and more exposure to teams, nationwide, regardless of what, when my team I stand, Lakers, but to conceptualize and just have that appreciation for what he could have possibly become. Because my memory is just very vivid. I just remember, being a big and just being a rim protector, and it's just like he's obviously so much more than that. And the players, not just random players, not no bench guys. These are all-time greats saying that his potential he hadn't even scraped it yet. So I felt for him a lot watching that documentary, even more so than I did before I watched the documentary, because like anybody, who's seen it, it felt like he got robbed from not only the opportunity for millions of dollars, but just the potential of being the best basketball player he could have been. So,
right.
That was from the emotional side for him. I felt that for him, and it circled back to where all this everything would have been fine. Like Reggie said, everything would have been fine to that bozo. And what pisses me off about it, dude was laughing about it.
Yeah,
the dude ain't like laugh like I'm like man.
That's how you know it got too comfortable, man. It got too comfortable.
Laughing about it, you legit ruined careers of countless people. Because who's to say if that Pacers team wins, Rick Carlisle is even a better, coach than what he is now, and he might not even come to the Mavericks. Like, who's to say that even happens? And that
and now he's back with the Pacers in real time, so it's crazy. Full circle.
Yeah. And then it's just it was there was a lot to unpack in that particular documentary, and one of the things that just kind of brought me back to again was just remembering and realizing just the role that mental health plays, and just acknowledging it, because Ron Artest was not in a good place, and although he was seeking help actively, he still had some things going on with him that he just wasn't. His mind just was not right. And for someone to be that talented, to have the money that he had, just lets you know that just because the fame, the fortune, it's not the end all be all, because he was still going through it.
Yeah. And I think he kind of mentioned it in the pod that he was kind of like, nowadays he kind of wish he had, afterwards, the fallout and everything, he would have made different decisions, which is growth, and, being mature about the situation now is kind of good to see from him.
He's hard. He was hard on himself, bro.
Yeah.
Even after he won the ship
Jermaine
with the Lakers,
still, Jermaine was still kind of.
Yeah, he was definitely still pissed because he felt like he broke up the court, and like he uses the same words that Ron Artest described himself. Well, Meta World Peace at the time described himself.
Yeah,
I felt like a coward, and that's for him to carry that weight. He said that when Lakers won that in 2005. Was it 2000? No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So many of those championships.
Pistons won that 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, dude. I think
it was. They beat our ass. They choked us out, man. I try to forget that year. Just to have to carry that, to feel like you have to carry that, or knowingly have to carry that, especially someone who has their own challenges when it comes to his mental health, for him to believe that he's a coward because of that is just. Man, that's heavy, bro. That is heavy. But hopefully he got some sort of relief or some sort of peace about it, just talking about it again. I don't know what it's going to take for him to be able to move on, or if he's already moved on, but hopefully he finds peace in the situation. But Jermaine O'Neal especially, it's like, man, bro, what can we do? What can we do?
Man. Definitely check out this documentary if you haven't already. It is on Netflix, Untold series. It's actually a series of sports docs. I haven't checked out whatever the second one's about, but this first one's about Malice at the Palace. Check it out if you get the chance. And now it is time for...
What's that sound?
This guy.
See, I did that segue.
This boy think he clean. He ain't clean. Ain't mean. Ain't clean. Ain't mean.
Nerdy news segment brought to you by our guy Keith. Appreciate the music. Dane, I messaged you the last pod. That part was so funny. He said, "Shout out to Keith." I played it like 1,000,000 times, man.
Shout out to Keith.
That was the funniest thing ever. But episodes 1 and 2. Well, wait. I jumped ahead of myself, man.
Oh, yeah.
Any moment now, it could be happening as we're recording.
Man,
we don't know.
Get the hell out of here. Just go ahead and tell now. Just say it. I'm ready to burst your bubble as soon as you say it. Pause.
Any moment now, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer could, as you're listening, it could be out. It could be here. We don't know. We're too busy recording this podcast for our fans. But we don't know if this trailer is out right now as we're recording this on Monday night at 7:35 Central Time. Dane is looking at me with a crazy face, but I believe the trailer is coming out tonight. I believe it's coming out tonight as soon as we finish recording. But I'm going to go ahead and say that this trailer is going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's going to get us hyped for December to see multiple Spideys. Dane, now you bring me down to earth.
First off, take a break, take a breath. Second off, you sound like Jamie Foxx's character from Spider-Man when he was obsessed with Peter Parker, or obsessed with Spider-Man. Don't talk about Spider-Man. I'm like, whoa, that's what you sounding like right now. Second off, go take a walk. You need to go outside and go admire the trees and the butterflies and the blades of grass outside. Second off, I've probably said so many things, but my man's, unless you got some sort of insider at Sony or MCU, I'm gonna need you to bring it down a few notches.
I talked to Kevin Feige.
I'm gonna need you to bring it down a few notches, my brother.
I talked to Kevin Feige.
You're a little too hype. You're getting all our fans riled up. They thinking they're listening to this podcast right now, possibly driving to work, pulling out their cell phones, trying to scroll and find on YouTube a trailer that ain't even out yet.
It's gonna be out. If it's not out, you can rip me up on social media. No, I'm not shaving anything.
If that trailer isn't out by 7:37 on August the 24th on Tuesday, Go ahead and take the clippers, close them, make sure it's on. I mean, no guards on them, and just go straight down the middle.
All right, people gonna think I'm crazy. Deonte, why do you think this trailer's coming out? Why do you think this trailer's coming out? I think the trailer's coming out because it got leaked yesterday on the interwebs.
The trailer did not get leaked. An unfinished portion of the trailer.
Bruh. All right. You're right. You're correct.
For all we know, that could have been orchestrated by Marvel and Sony together. Like that.
Then why are they removing it? Why are they taking it off the interwebs?
Because they would look like fools if they didn't take it off, because that's what they normally do anytime the other trailers get leaked. Come on, Deonte.
The fake ones don't get pulled.
Like Ghost used to do on Power. Think, Tommy, think. He's always said it.
All right, Dane's bringing me back down to earth, but I'm still kind of in the sky a little bit, man. All right, here's the thing: if you are listening to this podcast on Tuesday, August 24th or August 25th, Tuesday, and the trailer is not out, blow up my social media. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I don't want to do this or don't know how to do this. Okay, and that'll be that. But I think it'll be out by the time you're listening to this. Okay. Anyway, a trailer that is officially out, Dane, Eternals, which explores. First of all, it comes out in November, and it explores the Celestials. Am I correct? That were created centuries ago, and now we find out through the trailer they're kind of living. They've been living amongst the humans, and through the trailer. I remember through the first trailer, we kind of thought, why haven't they decided to intervene with all the different situations that happened in MCU, from Thanos, all the stuff that we've seen in history, and they're kind of explained through the trailer. Hey, we couldn't intervene because this being told us not to do so. But I'll say this one thing, and I'll kick it to you, man. Richard Madden's character, I think it's Icarus. I think he's the MCU's Superman. Come on, man.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that was the cue for me to start talking. First off, check your tone. Second off, I was working. Obviously, I was working from home. I think it was Thursday or Friday, whenever the trailer came out. But I was working on my computer, typing away, and I get an instant message from my boss. I'm like, oh, what's up, boss? Click on it. Bloop. What's up, Susie?
What's up, boss?
I was like, bloop. What's up, Susie? She's like, in all caps, have you seen the Eternals trailer? And I was like, in my head, I was like, wait a minute. You late? I was like, wait, you late?
Oh, you thought it was the first one?
Yeah, I was like, wait, you late? And then I was like, wait a minute, no. This is Susie I'm talking about. She just knows, she knows pretty much about surface level about a lot of MCU related things as much as I do. So I'm like, which trailer? She's like, the new trailer just came out today. And I was like, be right back. I came back 3 minutes later. My mind was blown. So many things. Visually, let me backtrack. The cast, the cast, they're phenomenal. Very diverse cast, very talented individual in the cast. I have no worries about the cast. Paperboy's on the cast, so like I'm ecstatic. That's goes without saying. In terms of acting, we're in good hands. As long as the script is there, or I don't care. If the script isn't there, the actors will deliver because they are very talented. That's first thing off. Second thing, visually, the movie is going to be whatever addictive substance you can think of. The most addictive substance you can think of. That's the essence of this movie. That's what it looks like. The third thing, they showed a lot in the trailer, but they did not show a lot in the trailer. I say that by saying there's a bunch of visuals and a whole bunch of clips of action happening, but we still got nothing, which is amazing to me for them to say so much without saying anything. So with the second trailer being out and we're just a few months away,
I still have the final trailer, but
no idea what's going on. Yeah, we'll get a spot during a Monday night game with the Cowboys because everybody loves the Cowboys. Everybody hates the Cowboys.
Here you go.
Why not put it on there?
Had to talk about the Cowboys in the nerdy news segment.
Look,
that was earlier. You should have talked about them. Okay?
This is what happens. This is what happens, bro. Okay, I'm sorry, but people hate them. People love them. So that's a perfect opportunity for Sony, or correction, that's the perfect opportunity for Marvel to drop a trailer. And it'd also be a perfect opportunity for Sony and Marvel to drop a trailer. So, anyways, back to my point before I was really
They're dropping one tonight or tomorrow in the morning. Spider-Man.
All right, man.
All right, continue.
If they don't drop a trailer tonight, you got to eat that shirt. The shirt that you're wearing. Mr.
You do it on live.
It's supposed to be the Superman of MCU, ain't it? Nah.
You don't think Bro, lasers out his eyes and flying? That's not Superman?
No. The Superman of the MCU is the Sentry. So,
okay.
Go look him up.
He not here yet. He not in the MCU.
It's a damn good reason why he ain't there, because he would have bodied everybody.
He's too powerful?
He's way too powerful.
That was my other question for you. So these Eternals their power. We're gonna see that their power level is way above what we've seen so far in the MCU. So my question is,
they have no place in the MCU.
Yes, that's my question. Honestly. Like, will we see these characters interact with our grounded heroes, or are they? I mean, I'm thinking it'll be like a villain that obviously that they're gonna fight. That's on that tier level where only they can fight. Like, I mean, we know how the MCU is interconnected. Listen,
it's levels to this, B. It's levels to this. When it's their time to shine, B, they're gonna shine. You feel me? But until then, they're gonna be chilling in the back,
like they've been doing for the past.
Like they've been doing. Okay, so don't be trying to pull their card like that, B. Don't be.
You was pulling it too. Don't act. What? I'm playing, man. I don't know.
All right. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, man. If y'all haven't seen it yet, check out that Eternals trailer November 5th in theaters. We got Shang-Chi coming out September 3rd. You excited for that?
Very excited.
Me too.
Look, we got so many different avenues to watch different foes get their ass kicked. And this one, look, we got Doctor Strange hitting people with spells, making them explode. We got the Eternals shooting laser beams out their eyes, making people explode.
Yeah.
And then you got people that can hit you with one of these.
How you get
and not explode, but make you hurt really bad, like you just got exploded. Yeah. So there's so many different ways that people can get their ass kicked in the MCU, and I'm here for it. So
Marvel's definitely continuing to bless us. And then the What If episodes 1 and 2 are streaming now on Disney Plus. What If episode 1, and if we kind of talked about What If the last few episodes. For those that don't know, it's about alternate versions and alternate timelines of the multiverse. At the end of Loki, the multiverse kind of split up, and so spoiler alert, and of course spoiler alert. What If deals with episode 1 deals with Peggy Carter and if she got the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. And then episode 2 deals with our boy T'Challa, Wakanda Forever, and if he was taken by the Ravagers instead of Peter Quill. I'm gonna just say off rip, I enjoy episode 1, but episode 2, obviously for many, many reasons, mainly being our guy Chadwick Boseman. His performance in episode 2 just took the show to another level, and I'm excited, humbled, and this is very Chadwick-like as far as him taking over the role. I don't know if he's ever been in anything cartoon animation wise, but it felt like it was him, like in real life form and not in animation. And so for this to be, one of his last projects, and I think we still get 3 more episodes with him in this season, man, I can honestly say, like, from start to finish, he made it his own, which he did with the character anyway. But to see it in this light and the way he, brought the character to life, it was just amazing to see and listen to, man. What'd you think?
Man, so I'd have to piggyback off of, shout out to my homie Mike. We talked about it.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah, we talked about it along with the Jamaicans beating the Americans in the 100-meter dash. We talked about shout out to the motherland one time. We talked about how one, really didn't care too much for Peggy Carter. Ain't gonna cap.
Yeah.
It's bona fide scrub. She can't play.
Ain't no cap. She ain't no cap. No.
The main reason behind not having that much interest in episode 1 is one, we never really saw Steve Rogers develop as a character. I mean, obviously we saw him go through different phases of life, and seeing the world as the world evolved in his absence and coming to an understanding of this is what this place is. But there's little to no character development for him. So that fed its way for me not to care too much for the episode. I liked the episode. The concept was dope, but that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
And it's kind of like similar to what we saw in the movie anyway. It was just with Peggy instead of him. Like, she kind of went through the same path.
She was cold in the mug.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, cold. Damn, maybe we got the wrong Steve. I mean, we got the wrong captain. Like,
yeah.
Like, damn, like, and
yeah.
It kind of just highlights the recklessness of men anyways. Women come in here and do the job way better than we can do it. And it's like, man, why we got the shitty variant of Captain America, essentially. So shout out to Peggy Carter and what she's going to be doing. Hopefully it gives her some role, because she was doing the dang thing. But
yeah,
episode 2 was awesome, man. Obviously we are Chadwick Boseman stands here in this household. So, you know, with the loss of him, it still doesn't feel real. But, you know, here we are. His family lost a very, very, very talented individual, and we did too, but not to the effect that they did. So say that without saying anything else. 2, impressive the way that they got all those voice actors, or the majority of the voice actors, back in that particular episode. Seeing Thanos was the last thing that I was going to expect. I was like, oh, shoot. And as I was watching, all right, let's go. We got to fight. Homie's about to be on one, so we got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to put them things on. We going to lose, but we going to go down swinging. But spoiler alert, the way that they allowed T'Challa's character to encourage and influence and change his mind from being a, genocidal maniac was dope. And I don't know.
And they added a little comedy part to it too.
Like this ongoing joke about him being a genocidal maniac. So it was
and like dope. That was the kind of same conversation people were having about Thanos in general. Like, hey, did you side what Thanos? He was right. Like, he's a villain, but the way he was talking about it was, what I'm saying. So they kind of made fun of that. You gotta
call it what you call it. You got real dumbasses out here justifying that him. Randomly killing half of the universe. Like, bro, come on now. Come on, bro. But it's fair because it's shut up. Mm-hmm. Like, shut up, dude. So anyways, that was cool. And just the homage that they were able to, just giving him his flowers when they were able to was a good touch. So I'm excited to see what they got for episode 3. You know what the storyline for episode 3 is going to be, or who the characters?
Episode 3, I literally just saw a screenshot before we recorded. I literally saw a screenshot.
Well, it sounds like Sylvester Stallone.
Seems like it's going to be Nick Fury, and Black Widow.
We got Sam.
So
is it Sam or we got somebody else?
He voiced Sam he voiced Nick Fury in episode 1 with Hawkeye. Remember at the end? Did you watch? Okay.
Hold up. Hawkeye. Man.
Oh, Dane did not watch all of episode 1.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay, I might not tell you. Okay.
I don't care.
Peggy came through that portal. You've seen that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
The Avengers, the opening scene for Avengers, the first one. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay,
So
I forgot.
It was Nick Fury and
Hawkeye. That's how. I mean, not saying the episode was bad, but just how forgetful the episode was. Like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sam is voicing Nick Fury, and we definitely not gonna see Scarlett Johansson voicing Black Widow. To everything that went down, I'm pretty sure she's not the voice of Black Widow.
We might. Scarlet Witch might be out of there too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like,
because of what she supported in Scarlet.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, man.
Boy, they about to variant your ass, boy.
Y'all better chill with the mouse. You know that GIF with Mickey Mouse got the
putting on the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, you better
snap your body into existence.
Boy, you better get on that with the Rock's take a page out of his book. How he was copping pleas with them. It's like, oh no, it's actually pretty good business. It's a solid deal. I think they did whatever.
Look, Dane, look, it happens all the time. You know how they always say that? Yeah. This is normal. It happens all the time.
No, this is just business. I'm sure they'll sort things out. Yeah, he know that bag. He know where his butter is bread. He know where his bread is buttered.
He know where his butter breaded.
He know his butter breaded. That boy know where his butter is breaded. Yeah, I'm gonna make that a thing. I'm gonna make that blunder a thing. He know where his bread is buttered.
You know where his bread is buttered. Oh man, his bread is buttered. Okay. Episodes 1 and 2 of What If streaming right now on Disney Plus. Episode 3 dropping on Wednesday. Be sure to check it out. Of course, next week we will talk about it on the next episode of the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast.
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Dane, as we close, man, you put this in here and I thought this was funny. By now, if y'all are listening, y'all on social media, there's no way you have gone through social media these last week and not have seen this crazy crate challenge. One, my question, okay, if you don't know what it is, people are stacking crates by levels and trying to walk across the crates without falling. And my question is, where are they getting these crates from?
You never seen no milk crate before?
I have, but bro, just everybody has them on deck like that?
Somebody, if you see any of those videos, there's at least 10, 15, 20 people around, right? Somebody, this is my guess. Somebody either one person in that group works at a store, like at a Walmart or H-E-B, and they say, hey, we got some extra crates. I can bring about 20 of them out here. Something like that. Or B, somebody threw them away or they bought them because some stores sell them for 99 cents. Since these videos have started going viral, some stores have been selling them for 99 cents, which
Smart
is
business.
A lot more than what they're worth. But
capitalism is funny, bro.
It's so messed up, bro. But the highlight of this for me is aside from the young lady that we saw, I think her name was TT. TT, if you're out there, shout out to you, girl.
TT, do you know me? Go ahead. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest Drake stan I've ever met in my life.
No, I'm not a Drake stan, dude. Okay, continue.
So anyway, TT, she's the first person I saw she's the only person I've seen that's completed the task itself. Of course, going up the crates and then going down, touching your foot on each crate before getting to the ground.
Was she the one rolling the J?
I don't know. It could have been.
It was somebody that did it. I don't think it was a guy that did it. Never mind.
Possible. It's very, very, very possible. I don't put it past anybody. Look, I don't put it past anybody.
You know what's funny? I saw a joke that you know how most of these crate challenges we've seen, like black people doing it. Mm-hmm. And what's homeboy from Snowfall, the white guy that's bringing the drugs to the hood?
Oh, he's talking about
what's his name with the beard?
He's talking about McGruff. McGruff, the crowd dog.
But somebody posed a picture of him and it's like, this is the dude that bringing all the crates.
Reed.
Yeah, Reed. If y'all watch Snowfall, y'all know what I'm talking about. They say Reed brought the crates.
Yeah, he looked like a hound dog. But shout out to her. But one of the most, it was kind of cool just in terms of people just enjoying themselves. We're going to have a good time regardless of where we're at. There was a few brothers, they were in a penitentiary. They were out in the yard with their crates stacked up. And, they had one of the guys was going up and like, man, he ain't going to do it. Because the dude, I guess his nickname was White Boy because he's a white guy. The nickname was White Boy. It's like, oh, White Boy, he ain't going to make it. He got all the way to the top. And as soon as he stepped down, he flew sideways. And every single last one of the inmates watching was just rolling out laughing.
I've seen so many dislocated hips and joints and ankles. I'm like, I would never try that.
Nah, never. I wouldn't try. Only way I would try it is if you know how like some pools they have like a little walkway in the middle of the pool. Mm-hmm. Like if the crates are set up like that, so on either side, regardless of where I fell inside of the water because you could look. After suffering multiple concussions due to football, there's no way that you could possibly convince me to climb atop of a stack of crates with the possibility of causing, with my own momentum, making me tumble, collide, fall, break a hip, and possibly do a backflip landing on my head. There's no way that you could possibly convince me to do that for free. So, and the price has to be super high, like super high. So,
facts.
Otherwise, I ain't doing it. But shout out to everybody who's done it, whoever's planning on doing it. Make sure you're safe. Do it safe. If not, make sure you at least got some health coverage, man, because it ain't looking too good.
Yeah,
it's a long way down.
Something hurting, man. But episode 58 of the duo, Dane, man, that was a good one, bro. Anything you got to say to the people before we get out of here?
That's it. Peace out. I'm out.
Yeah. I will say, man, it is August 23rd, which means it's Kobe Bryant's birthday, man. So just shout out to Kobe Bryant and his family, man. It just, like you mentioned with Chadwick, bro, it still doesn't feel like something that happened. And I think they have the Mamba Day tomorrow. Did they put that into writing? August 24th?
Yeah, I think so. If it wasn't already, it probably is going to be.
Yeah,
it's just it's a tough time, man. We've been a really tough season in terms of the pandemic, but people could use some nostalgia and some reminders of just being thankful of life itself. So I think that's one thing.
Yeah,
that day tomorrow could bring in. Shout out to you for remembering. I legit.
Yeah,
I seen it on Twitter earlier today, and I didn't bat an eye because still kind of hasn't like.
And then now it stuck with me because I immediately thought August 23rd. I'm like, dang, August 24th is Mamba Day from what I remember. And so to have his birthday and that day, back-to-back days, is just incredible as well. So, yeah, shout out to Kobe. Happy birthday to Kobe Bryant. I believe he would have turned 43 today. So shout out to him and his family, man. And, yeah, bro. I love you very much, my guy. Always great to get on with you. Episode 58 of the duo. Appreciate the fans and people rocking with us still. And if you want to listen and give us a rating or review, you can do that on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, the video people that tune in. Appreciate it very much, man. We'll rock with y'all on episode 59. The duo, we are out.